Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to share with you a small video on how you can debug your webhooks. So first, what is a webhook? If you don't already know that, a webhook is simply a single event message. So I basically borrowed it from Shopify documentation. So basically you have Shopify sends a webhook to an app's webhook subscription endpoint. Webhook contains a JSON or XML payload in the body and metadata in the headers. So basically you subscribe to an event on your provider, in this case Shopify, and from there you can have a message when the event happens. So you might be wondering why webhook and not simply use your API and make API requests to get the information that you want. So here is another example from the Shopify docs. From your app, let's say you make an API GET request to see if an order has been created. So it hasn't, it gives you an answer, and you do it multiple times. And it will work, of course, but it's not going to be optimum and it might actually waste unnecessary resource. A much better approach is using the webhook subscription. So you just subscribe, and whenever the event occurs, you get your payload, JSON or XML. All of that is, by the way, configurable in the Shopify interface. And then you can, from there, get your information and process it. So an example is that you have stock management in your system, and Shopify also have its own stock for a store. And whenever someone orders a product, there will be this webhook, and you subscribe to it, so it will send you this event, and you can from that make your so you can balance out your stock, and it's as easy as that. So now let's say you're developing your controller or your URL in order to have it working on a webhook. So let's say you want to test it, or maybe you've already developed a bit, some part of it, and you want to update it, or let's say you already have your webhooks, but for some reason it's breaking and you want to debug the webhooks. What you need to know though is that the webhooks requires a public URL and that it should be HTTPS, that is, it should be encrypted. You have this wonderful tool that can help you do it, because normally with your app you're going to be using the production side and you don't want to mess with it. Maybe you have access with the logs, but let's say you want to change some stuff, you want to experiment a bit, and you can't change the production, of course. So locally what you can do is use ngrok, which is a fantastic tool that will map it will actually generate a URL for you in HTTPS in several protocol, but you use the HTTPS and you then put this URL in your provider. For example, Shopify, you just put it there, and whenever the event is going to be triggered, it will send you so ngrok will redirect it to your local host, and then you can manipulate it, you can see the payload and use it as you want. So one thing to know though is that ngrok, you need to sign up, and you need also to use a token. So a few years back when I first used it, it was free. It's still free, I think, to a limit. And you just needed to use the tool. Nowadays you need to subscribe, and I heard it has good support as well. So I hope this can help you if you want to debug your webhooks, or even generally speaking, if you have your local host URL that you want to share with the world, you can use ngrok. But I think it has an 8 hours limit and it changes. So I hope this video is useful. See you later.